Welcome to
Go ahead, James. Knock it out for us.
Welcome to the Grinder, everyone. Let me get my full on radio voice for it.
Please do. I want the full radio experience.
Welcome to the Grinder. Your hosts are
Addison and James Chapman.
Yeah.
Dude, that was
Needs a little work. We need to get a little smoother with it.
Yeah, that was absolutely terrible for both of us.
Was it?
All right. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all.
Okay. Welcome to the Grinder, everyone. Let me get monotone with it.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to be better, but you can try it.
Yeah.
Give it a shot.
Welcome to the Grinder. I'm your host, James Chapman, joined by Addison Corbin. And today we're talking about
many different things. We're talking about life, friendships, and happiness.
I got a little something to share. I went to a conference, insurance conference. So cool, right? Just a blast. I actually loved it. I know to most folks that probably wouldn't be very interesting. But the point is, it made me realize how much opportunity I'm missing by being around folks. I'm kind of the guy that likes to come back in his cave and just work. And I think that's important. Some people talk too much and do nothing, right? There is a balance here, and I need to work to balance it. I was around some really inspiring folks this past 3 days doing some amazing stuff, and it blows my mind. In an industry I've been in for 20 years, I still run into folks that are making money in all kinds of cool ways that I never even thought about. There is so much money out there to be made if you want it, right? You just got to think outside the box. Like, how many days do you just put your head down and work, right? Every once in a while, you need to look around. There's some really cool stuff going on. You need to get around other people in your industry and learn what's happening, what they're doing. So you don't need to walk around mimicking everybody, but it just gets your mind to wonder and to think and how you can put your own spin on it and make something out of it. Make sure you're taking advantage of that.
Yeah, that's something that I definitely don't do enough. And I think we've talked about that a few times, right? Where you and I are similar in the aspect, like we just want to get in, we want to do what we got to do, and we want to move on. Not too many of those, not too many times am I going out and commingling with other people in the industry, right? Mm-hmm. And even when we do, like we've got the brokerage that we're at. Shout out to Shannon. Like, she does a very good job with bringing people together. How many times have I showed up, just to show my face and then roll out? Every single time. Mm-hmm. Just because I feel like I could be at work. I could be doing something with the time that I'm spending here. I could be making some progress. I could be pushing the ball forward. Yeah, and that is definitely one of my I don't know if you call it a guilty pleasure or not. I just want to push the fucking rock. Now, if I could push the rock all day, that'd be it.
Well, that's the thing is, like, so when we go to one of those things, we just look at it as something that's not productive, and that's us having the wrong viewpoint, right?
Yep.
I do like the one I go to is Agency Collective. So it's a group I'm a part of. And, I want to know what's going on with the Agency Collective. So I'm just more open-minded. But you get to talk to folks all over the country, and everybody's like sharing their secrets because it's their own little secret sauce. If you're going to make something, they say your secret sauce, you're going to have to change the recipe a little bit, and it's really cool. I mean, there's shared struggles, shared solutions to those struggles. It's phenomenal. I should probably be going to a conference every quarter at a minimum.
That actually, that makes sense. It makes sense why that would work, right? To be able to get you out of your own little bubble and picture frame and take a step out and kind of see where other people are at. Yeah. So it's one of those things that, you've always got to be Always got to be trying to become better, but also trying to be in um, the same realm as pushing the ball forward, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do both at the same time.
Yeah. I it also makes you realize like just how small the community is, but also it's weird. It's like it shows you how small the community is, but also how large it is at the same time. There's great folks, men and women all over the country that are insurance agents, and they're trying to think outside the box, trying to add more value, right? Stay relevant during this time. And it it's just it's cool. It's cool that you can sit there and make these type relationships, but like I said, I mean, you get to see this large community with all different types of issues. Some you're not dealing with. I mean, I was in that group today and we're talking about how hard the industry is right now. It's very tough. Carriers are making it very tough because it's tough on the carriers. But man, you sit around and talk to a California agent for a few minutes, you feel grateful. You feel really grateful compared to what they're going through and what they're trying to. I mean, those folks are like trying to survive right now. I mean, it is hell for them. It's just beating them up. So it gives you some real perspective on things.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's we always get so caught up in what we've got going on.
Yeah.
Always. Because
Yeah.
that's just where we're at in the moment, right? Um, but I think even being able to get out, maybe not even with the same people in the same field, right? Just being able to get out. Like this weekend, I was able to meet a guy that was in the oil business uh, pre Clinton. And then when Clinton got in office, he switched to commercial fishing. He bought 7 commercial fishing boats. And it was just cool to see how, the transition can happen like that, but also to see it, to be able to talk to somebody who's in a completely different field and see how they view, politics or how they view the world around them.
Yeah.
And then you're able to kind of say, okay, well, I see this from my point of view here, but we're all pretty much similar in how we see the world around us, right? Sometimes. So I think it's both. I think you do need to be able to step out and have those conversations with people inside the industry, outside the industry, and then just be able to see the way that the world actually spins, right? And that we're all not so different, but we also do things very different.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And there's folks out there doing more with less, you know.
That's a big one.
Yeah. It's cool. Quick question, totally sidestepping this conversation. Why are we having this? Why are you like playing with a massive knife right now? What are you doing?
It was on my desk.
It was on your desk.
Yeah.
It's like that's a big knife, bro.
This is the one that I cut all the way to the bone on my thumb.
And you're like spinning around in your fingers like it's a pencil.
Yeah, it's got memories. I can't get rid of it.
It's probably got some blood stains on it too. It sounds like.
I cleaned it pretty good.
Okay. I mean, you should keep it clean and sterile if you're going to play with it like that.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I've used it to cut meat and stuff. Yeah.
Oh man.
But it's I don't know. I like it.
I mean, it's a cool looking knife.
Yeah, it is a cool looking knife. I put the what do they call it? The wrap around it. So it
Oh, the
wouldn't be
550
so
cord?
yeah, so it wouldn't be just all metal.
Okay.
It's safer that way.
What do they call it? What's that edge on it called? That's or the
Serrated
point.
edge?
No. Tanto?
Isn't that the one you use like to cut down trees?
No. The actual tip, the way the tip goes.
Oh, the tip?
Yeah, that's called Tonto, Edge, something like that.
Tonto sounds right.
Yeah, it does sound right, a Tonto.
Yeah. I've been looking at purchasing another knife for my office. Something a little bit bigger than this.
All right, Rambo.
Yeah. You know, just something a little bit bigger that I can set on my desk. That way, I think less people would come into my office if I have more knives.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind
Yeah.
of what I'm thinking.
You can keep your door shut.
That won't stop them.
Do it too.
That
That
doesn't
wouldn't
stop.
stop them.
No, everybody just knocks on the door anyways.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the spear and they didn't do anything.
Hmm.
People just came in to play with the spear.
Hmm.
So I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Do you find yourself getting distracted throughout the day with other people?
At times, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will shut my door if I need to. I literally have a laminated page that says stop. I'm like in deep planning. And but I have a big window. You know how I
Yep.
so where my office is at, I like to be able to see out. I don't like feeling trapped, cut off.
Yeah.
So I can see my whole front lobby. I can see out. I can see across the square. I love it. I finally got me a shade for this window because I would do that. Then I would have people peek around the corner and literally stare at me. And I get it. They feel like they need me, right? So if it's like really deep, I hit that button, I make that shade drop down. So I'm literally isolated off. Nobody bugs me. But look, I will tell you, there's times people knock on my door. I do not reply to them. If I need it, like if I really need to be left alone, I'm in the middle of something, the fucking not. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna open it.
Yeah.
They get the point really quick.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
think
mean? Like
that's one of the problems of being the go-to, trying to stop that. Right. Because for the longest time, I continuously, I always made myself available just in case somebody needed me. And then now it's become, it'll be 3 o'clock in the day, and I'll have 2 or 3 conversations where people need something, and then I look up and it's 4:30, and I'm like, "Dadgummit, where did the day go?"
yeah. How many times have those people that needed you and you forgot about them? You came back and like, oh, I figured it out.
Yeah,
A
it
lot of
happens.
times.
It definitely happens. Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, I tried to. So my coach was telling me, he's like, you can't just isolate yourself off all the time, every day, or just even an entire day. He's like, you got to do it in sessions.
yeah,
So a lot of times I haven't done it recently because I feel like I've done more just quick work, just a lot of different things that need to happen quickly versus like deep work. But when I would do that, I do the deep work. Once I finish, man, I'd open that shade back up. I'd open my door back up. So I will go through phases during the day. So if you always have your door closed, people are always going to knock because they feel like the only time they can get your door's always closed. So if they ever need you, they knock and come in, right?
yeah.
I try not to leave my door closed all day. I definitely rarely put the shade down. If I put the shade down, also got my beautiful, lovely wife working in the office in here with me now. If I put the shade down, then it's just going to be a rumor mill. They're going to be putting their ear to the door, seeing what's going on inside this place.
Well, that would make sense. I'd
Yeah,
probably do
like
the same.
doesn't make much sense to me because when I come to work, I come to work.
You also looked at Danny just then.
Yeah, I did. Because she knows. She just fist pumps like, yes, we're getting after it right now. So, but if you do that in sessions, then it lets your staff know, people on your team know, like, well, yeah, I'm not just leaving the door shut all day. Well, yeah, they're going to knock every fucking day and all the time.
Yeah. The thing is, I don't shut it enough, I don't think. Because like if I'm on a podcast, nobody messes with me.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things where maybe I need to do that more often.
Well, Ted, our good friend Ted, he told me in their office they used to have a thing. He would get like if things got really intense, he had to get it done. Like he was adamant about not being disturbed or left alone. So they created a thing. It was red light, green light, yellow. Like, hey, where am I at? So he's like, if somebody would come up and he's like, hey man, I'm on yellow. I'm about to be red. Like, if you got to say something, you need to make it quick. Or hey, I'm red light right now. You cannot bug me whatsoever. Flat out. I have to get this done.
Yeah.
And I remember him telling me about that a long time ago and how that worked really well for them.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah, definitely something that needs to be implemented for sure. Especially if like we've cut a lot of I guess for lack of a better term, we've cut a lot of weight. Let a lot of people go. Not a lot, but enough. And now, I mean, it's basically just an all male office. And so the camaraderie that has come from that is super cool.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Good.
I mean, it's like there's just something different, right? We can say what we want to say. We can say how we want to say it. Like there is no reading between the lines. Like it just is.
Yeah.
And the camaraderie that has been built out of everybody knows like, hey, we're here to bust it. We're here to have a good time, while we're doing it. And there is there's no foo-foo. It just is.
Yeah.
And it's really, really, really been cool. And there's a hell of a lot more shit talking. And it's definitely driven some competition. It's driven some competitiveness. So, dude, it's really cool to see where we're at the current moment. But that also lends itself to what I was just talking about.
Yeah, and that comes with trust,
Yeah.
and clear communication, right? Everybody feels comfortable with everyone else, and clear communication is the only way that continues to evolve that.
Right. Yeah. So definitely interested to see where the next year takes us, because at this current moment, I'm more focused on productivity than I've been this entire year.
Cool.
Which is very cool because I was more so focused on, need to bring on agents, need to bring on, we need to keep the wheels turning, where I was getting distracted on my own stuff. And so it's been cool to see.
So I think I saw something yesterday. I don't know. I don't feel like the math's right, but it says there's 100 days left in the year.
Yeah, dude, we're almost in Q3.
Yeah.
Q4.
100 days left in this year. What do you want to achieve?
Yeah. It's the home stretch. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So it's definitely going to be very imperative to it's going to be imperative to make sure that you are getting after. If you have your goals set for the year and you're not there yet or you're not close, it's time to buckle up and get some juice in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of my thing. Like, when's the last time I checked my goals? I'm trying to think off the top of my head, and
see that was a conversation that I was going to bring up on this podcast today. Was 3 months left, and what do we? When was the last time you checked or as a team or as a company? When was the last time you went over team goals?
Yeah. Are you asking me that question?
Yeah.
That was, we update weekly where we're tracking. Every week there's an update to the goals and where we're going, what we're getting. But we're actually doing a meeting in end of this month. We're all coming together, everybody, every part of the agency driving in. We're all meeting in person. We're going to talk about some going into Q4, some things we want to achieve, a couple of things we need to change, and just continue to work on the team mentality and getting there. So
we don't touch on it enough over here. That I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Because each week, we touch base on like statuses of everything where we're at, but we don't actually talk about how far off of or how far or how close we are to team goal. We talk about individual goals. like where everybody's at. We have one-on-ones on Friday, but we don't focus on the team like we should.
Yeah, man, every week there's an update on numbers, how we're tracking on numbers, and everybody gets their individual goals finalized, how they achieved every single month. So we drive that in constantly of how things are tracking and where they're going. So
yeah, I'm gonna work on that. We may bring meeting of the minds, and I may pick your brain on that.
yeah, but I think there's two parts to that. So saying that, just to add to it, I think the if you don't track it, you don't manage it. You don't manage it, you can't change it, right? You can't move it, you can't adjust it. So it's very helpful there, but you can't what am I trying to say? There's got to be more than that. Then it just becomes another email every week, right? If you're not engaging on that with the people who are actually manipulating those numbers, right? Moving them, helping you manage them, track them, everything. You got to constantly, just like core values, you got to constantly remind why that number is important, what it does for them, what it does for us, what it does for our clients, everything, right? How it all connects. There's not enough of that going on here. And that's something I'm working to fix and to change, other than just sending the numbers out.
Yeah.
Great to send all the numbers out, but if you're not correlating that,
if there's not a conversation behind it, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, I'll probably end up picking your brain by the end of the week about it.
Yeah, please do so.
Okay. Well, cool. Let's tie a bow on this bad boy. Guys, we appreciate everything you guys do. We appreciate all of the love that you've been giving us. And none of this would be possible without actually somebody listening, and that's you. And so with that being said, thank you. We appreciate you. And do not forget to check out our sponsors, Jocko Fuel and Origin USA. And when you get there, put in the code GRIND10, GRIND10 at checkout. Save yourself 10% off. We're working on getting a better code. Maybe getting a solid 15%, something along those lines. See what we can do for you guys. With that being said,
grinder out.